Hey, what's up YouTube? It's K-Rad here. I'm back with another good video for you guys today for all you boxing family out of the LDBC. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, let's get right to it, man. I have a lot of content to give you guys tonight. Just came back home from Florida. Had a great time with my family. Definitely need to cut my weight down. I had a little bit of good food down there. Well, I didn't eat super unhealthy. I mainly stuck to like lean proteins and shit. But nah, Florida was good. I had a great time with my family and my other family members that I haven't met. So I mean, I had a really good time and I enjoyed what I had to go through, and it was good. I had everything that I wanted to do down there. But now that we're here back home, and I have until Tuesday that I have to go back to work on cold ass New York, upstate New York, I'm just going to yeah, enjoy my time while it lasts and just keep grinding on this boxing. So, yeah, let's get right to it, man. We have a lot to talk about. I don't have that many videos to really talk about. I will have a bunch of videos to talk about. About the whatchamacallit, the boxing that's going on tonight, for the Xavier Martinez versus Robson Conceição fight, in which that'll be good. But here's the thing. We're gonna be talking about some topics, and then we'll just keep moving forward from there. So yeah, let's get right to it. I have a little bit of heated criticism towards a really good, or I wouldn't say she's a good fighter yet, but her name is Ebanie Bridges. For those of you that don't know, I've made, some videos about her, and I thought of her to be a good fighter. And, Ebanie Bridges, she is a fighter out of Australia, and she is a lovely woman. I believe she's 34 years old, by the way, so she is definitely old. But Miss Ebanie Bridges, she had been recently talking about her up and coming title shot that she's somehow getting against Cecilia Roman. A very good, well decorated veteran level fighter. She's obviously not that, any younger. She's obviously super old herself. But Ebanie, she's 35, and Miss Cecilia Roman, she's 16-5-1, and Ebanie, she's 7-1-0. She's not that much of a knockout puncher. Only got 3 knockouts. And Miss Cecilia Roman, she's out of Argentina, by the way. Shout out to Argentina. Y'all are amazing. But yep, she's orthodox. Same thing with Ebanie. She doesn't have any knockouts, surprisingly, because she doesn't really be hitting that hard at bantamweight. So I like how she fights. She's a pure boxer at heart, but I mean, for a 39-year-old woman to be the IBF world champion at this level, in which she has been holding the IBF title for quite some time, so she has done her just due. She's beaten ladies by the likes of Anna Maria Lozano, really good fighter, by the way. Carolina Raquel Dewar, or like, to make it short, her name is Carolina Dewar. I believe she has fought her twice, and she's beat her back to back, by split decision. Same thing with Anna Maria Lozano. She's a beast herself. Not the best fighter in the world, but she's given some ladies some good, decent, level fights. So she definitely has earned her just due in fighting, the best level opposition. So she's done what she has to do. And yeah, I mean, these are good, decent level opposition, in which I'd say that the biggest win ever has to be the Carolina Dewar fight, and then I say maybe the Julieta Cardozo fight. But then after that, she kind of fell off a bit. She lost to Melissa Odessa Parker, who is now the IBO world champion at 118 pounds. So I was actually very surprised that she actually had gotten a win over Maria Roman. And that's really impressive because Maria, she's a beast. Obviously, like I said, she's not a puncher, but she's a really, really good, skilled boxer. And I think this is what's going to give Ebony the most trouble. She does not scale well against pure boxers. Even though that we haven't seen it yet, but from what I could say from maybe the Shannon Courtney fight, Shannon Courtney did outbox Ebony to a certain degree until Ebony was able to gain the pressure on her. And I think Ebony, she's more of just like a pressure fighter. She's not really that much of a puncher. She could definitely give you some sting, but at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't really make it seem like she's really that impressive. And like how I feel about the bantamweight division. I kind of really just call this like the middle of nowhere division for females, because any division below that is actually like somewhat decent in competition, but then after that, it's pretty much just some ladies that are good here and there in some divisions. Like at 130, you got Alicia Baumgardner and Michaela Mayer and Queen Mi Choi. And that's about it. I mean, honestly, there's really nobody else that I could think of at other divisions. I mean, at featherweight, of course, we got the most beautiful woman ever, Miss Amanda Serrano. Obviously, her name isn't here anymore because she's going up to, whatchamacallit, lightweight to face the great undisputed female world champion, Miss Katie Taylor, in which I do have my respects for Katie. But y'all know where I come from. You know my roots. And I'm going Team Puerto Rico for Miss Amanda, the real deal Holyfield 2.0, Puerto Rico's own. Oh, man. Serrano. She is going to shine on April 30th on my birthday. So, to Miss Amanda, the real deal Serrano, I hope that birthday present can be achieved. And please, if you can get the victory, I will forever make a video dedicated and tributed to you. Yes. So, shout out to Amanda, the real deal Serrano. Much love to the queen. But your boy K-Rod needs to get back to this work. So, let's talk about Miss Ebanie Bridges. I like Ebanie Bridges. I'm not pulling any punches on her. I think she's a really heavily skilled, fighter. Not the best fighter, but she does have some skill. See, now, the biggest issue that I have with what she's doing here is that Eddie Hearn has to be behind this fight being made. Because if you guys want more information, I will post the link of the IBF's rules that was stated under the, I believe, the 6th page, if I'm not mistaken, talking about mandatory title defenses. And by the IBF's rules, the mandatory challenger will be or should be either the number 1 or number 2 guy or the next available person in the IBF rankings to fight the champion. See, now, if we go to the IBF rankings in the female division, we can see right here that Ebanie Bridges is at least number 10 in the IBF. See, now, I don't have a problem with this possible decision, but my question to the IBF and to Ebanie Bridges is that what happened to the 9 other ladies that couldn't get that opportunity to fight the champion, Maria Roman? Because last time I checked, Miss Shannon O'Connell should be the number 1 contender to fight for the title. Or if she's not available, then it should be, the next person up. But we can see right here, we have Miss Shannon O'Connell out of good old Australia. And we have Melania Soroche. Don't know so much about her, but she's a Spaniard woman. She's number 2. And then we have Daniela Rivero out of Argentina. And then we have Ava Knight. And then we have Zelina Munoz out of Mexico. She's a legend. Please go take a look at her. She's a good fighter. I'm actually going to make a video dedicated to her. She's a beast. I love her. Long live Mexico. And long live Zelina Munoz. Minus Johan Luna. To hell with you. I don't like you. You're a cheater. But Victoria Torres, and then we have the Miss Awesome Puerto Rican Queen herself, Miss Rosalinda Rodriguez. And then we have the Russian warrior herself, Miss Fatima Dudieva. And then we have Miss IBO World Champion Melissa Parker, in which she's actually ranked number 9. Even though that she's a champion, but okay, I mean, by all means, go for it. And then we have Miss Ebanie Bridges, and then Mary Romero, the same woman that knocked out Amy Timlin in, I want to say, in one of her fights. But after that, moving forward to number 15, or all the way down through to number 15, nothing special. See, now, here's my problem with this equation. Ebanie Bridges is a very, very, how should I say, not that noticeable fighter in the boxing sphere. Because at one point she did make a little bit of buzz, but then after that, it kind of just died down because it's like, you know, people want to say she's really just in it for the sexual appeal in boxing. And to me, I don't really actually respect that. In which I don't, you know, mind it. I mean, it like, you know, if Ebanie Bridges wants to do that, by all means, like, that's her choice as a boxer to bring more, you know, appeal to the sport, you know, in a certain promotional way. But I'm not going to sit here and say that good looks in the sport of boxing equals you getting a title shot right away, because you have the social media following, you have the political backing with the, you know, with a certain promoter. And therefore, the IBF, they can just break their rules to state that Ebanie Bridges can get a title shot, knowing that there's 9 other women, you know, ahead of her that should be fighting her or be fighting each other to get up to that level. Because last time I checked, Ebanie Bridges did not beat anybody out of the top 15 to get up to a spot in the IBF. And then on top of that, at what point in her career has she beaten any certifieds in her division to be in that position? Because the thing is that Ebanie Bridges, she hasn't beat anybody. I'm just keeping it real. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like Ebanie Bridges is, you know, she's unstoppable, because she's not unstoppable. Any fighter can be beat on their worst or good night. But last time I checked, Ebanie Bridges did not beat any woman out of the top 15 to be at that level. Because if I go to her BoxRec and see who she's beat, she has beaten women that were not even ranked at all. Malis Ganglov, a woman that has never been ranked in any sanctioned body at all. You know, decent fighter. You know, she's out of France. You know, look, I ain't got nothing against French women, but some of these French fighters are good. And obviously she's new to the game. She's not, you know, super duper good yet, but hopefully, you know, she could get up there. But I'm not going to sit here and say that this was a good win, like, you know, on the resume. You know, was this a contender level, like, you know, a contender level fight? And I mean, by this, you know, ranking system of how female boxing is oriented or orchestrated, they basically just put up women against either veteran level competition females or females that have the same record as them to the world title level early in their career. Because Ebanie, she fought Shannon with only like 5 fights in. You mean to tell me that was a good step up in competition to go straight for a vacant world title at the time to face Shannon Courtney? In which, don't get it twisted, Shannon Courtney, she's not good herself either, but I don't see how women's boxing got better by putting women that don't have a good, you know, a good built up, you know, resume to be ready for the high level. Because if I'm in that position, I want to make sure that I'm fighting like at least top 3 or top 5 level fighters. But don't get it twisted. I'll take a title shot if it's given to me, but why would I want to destroy my career by not being ready and just fight for the title, and then I have to work all the way back up, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to be ready? So I think what the problem is that, boxing has kind of brought itself downhill. And I don't know, man. It's just really sad because it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like there's just so much, political protectionism in the sport where you where you see some of these fighters out here that are ranked in the sanction bodies, and then when you look up their box rec and look at what they do, they haven't beaten any certifieds to actually claim their spot. It's the same shit with that one fighter, Kujatio Abudakarov. I just call him Kujatio Armadillo. But that Kazakhstani fighter, he wasn't good at all. And I mean, it's the same thing with Janibek. Janibek hasn't really beat any certifieds leading up to Rob Brandt. But I mean, okay, good. You got your position through the WBO to become the mandatory for Andre, but now that Andre's going to vacate his title at 160, you're basically gonna fight probably the number 2 guy that's going to fight you, and I won't be surprised if that could be Jaime Munguia, or maybe, I don't know, honestly, let me take a look at that, because I know for a fact that Jaime Munguia, he's definitely a top 5. If not, he is definitely up there in the rankings. So I'm not I'm not getting crazy, about it, but it's not like, these ranking systems are actually consistent. So yeah, let's just say if Andrade vacates, yeah, Janibek, you will have to face Jaime Munguia. So yeah, I mean, I don't understand why Ebanie Bridges got this title shot opportunity, and it was pretty messed up, man. Because it's like all the other women, like Rosalinda Rodriguez or Shannon O'Connell or whoever was supposed to be put in line. It's like you're holding back their careers, and I just don't find that fair for anybody to say to me that, oh, well, that's just how the sanction bodies work. No, dude, this is injustice. It's injustice of poor matchmaking and basically political protectionism and political fraud. If we're gonna be actually consistent with this, to actually say how how this corruption is being shown right in front of us. So to me, I just don't think Ebanie Bridges should be the mandatory. She obviously did not work her way to become number 1, and the IBS rules have have stated in their rule book to state that the champion must face either the number 1 or number 2 contender, and then if those two are not available, then it's the any next available contender leading on forward. So that means that Ebony, she would have to had gotten the call if the let's just say the 7 other women that wasn't able to fight the champion would get that title shot. So I don't know how she was able to get that, but I want to say that was through some form of political protectionism through Eddie Hearn. Because Eddie Hearn, he's like that. He'll probably do some crazy shit like that where he'll fork in some money to the sanctioning body, and then they'll just say, oh, well, but the mandatory challenger doesn't need to be gone through by Shannon O'Connell, in which I'm sure Shannon, she could probably file a lawsuit for that. But at the same token, it's like, are they just going to just sit here and just think that we're too stupid to not figure out how the rankings work, and then they're just going to just sneak Ebanie Bridges into the conversation to say, oh, well, she's now the new mandatory, knowing that 7 other females, or at least 9 other females ahead of her, deserve that title shot more than she does, or more than she does. So yeah, that's just something for food for thought, and I just figured that I just put that out there because I just find that to be really evil. So this isn't to throw any shade on Miss Ebanie Bridges. I love watching her fight, and Also, there's another female fighter that I love watching. Her name is Nicola Hopewell. She's a good fighter herself. I believe she's in her 30s or something, but you know, she's definitely getting up there. She needs to just get, you know, certified under her resume just to see where her skills are at. But other than that, that's about it, man. I just wanted to put that out there because I had a conversation with Miss Rosalinda Rodriguez, and she said right here that, well, actually, no, she commented on my page right here. She said, that social media for you. Nowadays, it's more followers or viewers that will get you up there. And I was mainly just talking about how, you know, the ranking system is fixed a certain way to have certain women be placed in certain placements. And, you know, Ebanie Bridges, she shouldn't have gotten that spot, you know, at all. And, yeah. I'm probably going to edit this post so that way I could fix it. So that way I could have, like, my information there properly. But other than that, that's pretty messed up, man. I don't see how the IBF would allow such a thing unless, like, whoever wasn't available out of this list ahead of Ebanie Bridges wasn't able to, you know, have the fight made. And which I'm pretty sure, like, you know, other, you know, like, you know, out of these 9 women, they definitely probably would have wanted to fight the champion if I'm in their position. But hey, whatever happens, happened. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I just wanted to bring out that information, or this information, because I found this really messed up and pretty stupid. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. And shout out to the mighty LDBC. Peace. And I'm out.